Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys. So Joe Smith Jr. has a successful defense of his WBO title, defeating Steve Gerard. I think it was in maybe the 10th round. Joe Smith Jr. pretty much dominated the fight. And Steve Gerard basically just, he was just there just not to get hurt seriously, but he did end up getting hurt. Basically, Joe Smith Jr. basically beat up dudes' shoulders, which that's a loss form in boxing. And basically, he just broke him down, landed nice shots, landed a stiff jab. Joe Smith boxed pretty solid in this fight. Jafar, at times, he had landed some nice combos. He had landed an occasional uppercut, but he pretty much spent most of the fight covering up. So at the end of the day, it was a successful title defense for Joe Smith Jr. So Joe Smith Jr. moves on. He said he would be interested in a fight with Artur beterbiev. He said he would take that fight. And then he said he wants to beat Artur beterbiev and then basically have undisputed versus Bibble. And then he said he'd take on Canelo. So more than likely, it'll be easier to make Joe Smith Jr. versus Artur beterbiev since both of them are top-ranked fighters. But Joe Smith Jr., I think, has a co-promotional deal. He has a additional promoter. But at the end of the day, that fight will be easier to make. Joe Smith Jr. versus Artur beterbiev. More than likely, they're looking at possibly summer. I mean, it's January. Me, myself, the fight could get made probably in April, but they're looking at summer because they want to see basically what happens with Canelo. I'll talk about Canelo in the next video. But congratulations to Joe Smith Jr. It was a successful title defense, and now he moves on. It's your boy Town Biz. I'm out.